Hari Krishna, Prabhuji, please, Prabhuji, can you please wait for a few minutes? We are starting recording. Then you can start.
Okay. Should I start now?
The recording has started.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you very much for allowing me to serve all of you today and grow together reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Before that, we'll glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradarana Para. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text 5. Rajavacha Najanami Mahabhaga Param Karma Pavidhadhi Bruhi Me Vimalam Jnanam Yena Muchyeya Karmabhi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The king replied, O great soul, Narada, my intelligence is entangled in fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know the ultimate goal of life. Kindly instruct me in pure knowledge so that I can get out of the entanglement of fruitive activities. Purport. Sri Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Satsangachari koinu asate vilasa, te karane lagila ye karma bandha phasa. As long as a person is entangled in fruitive activities, he is bound to accept one body after another. This is called karma bandha phasa. Entangled in fruitive activities. It does not matter whether one is engaged in pious or impious activities, for both are causes for further entanglement in material bodies. By pious activities, one can take birth in a rich family and get a good education and a beautiful body, but this does not mean that the distresses of life are ultimately eliminated. In the Western countries, it is not unusual for one to take birth in a rich aristocratic family, nor is it unusual for one to have a good education. and a very beautiful body. But this does not mean that Westerners are free from the distresses of life. Although at the present moment, the younger generation in Western countries has sufficient education, beauty, and wealth, and although there is enough food, clothing, and facilities for sense gratification, they are still in distress. Indeed, they are so distressed that they become hippies, and the laws of nature force them to accept a wretched life. Thus, they go about unclean and without shelter or food, and they are forced to sleep in the streets. It can be concluded that one cannot become happy by simply performing pious activities. It is not a fact that those who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth are free from the material miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death. The conclusion is that one cannot be happy by simply executing pious or impious activities. Such activities simply cause entanglement and transmigration from one body to another. Narottam Das Thakur calls this karma bandha phasa. King Prachina Barishat admitted this fact and frankly asked Narada Muni how he could get out of this karma bandha phasa, entanglement in fruitive activities. This is actually the stage of knowledge indicated in the first verse of Vedanta Sutra, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. When one actually reaches the platform of frustration in an attempt to discharge karma bandha phasa, he inquires about the real value of life, which is called Brahma Jigyasa. In order to inquire about the ultimate goal of life, the Vedas, Mundaka Upanishad 11.2.12 enjoin, Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Evabhigachet. In order to understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. King Prachina Barishat found the best spiritual master, Narad Muni, and he therefore asked him about that knowledge by which one can get out of the entanglement of karma bandha phasa, fruitive activities. This is the actual business of human life. Jivasya tattva jigyasa nartho yasceha karmabhi. As stated in the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.10, a human being's only business is inquiring from a bona fide spiritual master about extrication from the entanglement of karma, bandha, phasa. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we will hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam, this wonderful verse, which it talks about how King Prachini Barishat was very much submissive to Narad Muni. He welcomed him and he's asking him, he's praying to him, please tell me what is the process of inquiring into this absolute truth so that I can get free from this karma bandha phasa. And Srila Prabhupada talks about Athato Brahma Jigyasa. He speaks in the purport that The first aphorism of the Vedas is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. This is the Vedanta Sutra. Before even the Vedas, before even 4 Vedas were compiled, Narad Muni, he wrote the Vedanta Sutra. Sorry, Vedavyas wrote the Vedanta Sutra. These were just sutras, just these taglines. And the first of these sutras is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, the first one, which means Atha Ato, therefore, now. Atha means therefore, Ato means now. Brahma Jigyasa, inquire into the absolute truth. It is very important. Now, therefore. Have you ever read a book which starts with therefore? A lot of books that we read, they start with a preface, and then there is an introduction, and then there is the plot is created, then there is the middle section, and in the end, as a conclusion, it's written therefore, right? But here, in this Vedanta Sutra, it starts with the word therefore. Where is the preface? Where is the introduction? Where's the whole plot that was being made? What do you mean, therefore? But that is the beauty of the Vedanta Sutra. It assumes that now that you have come to this human form of life, and in this human form of life, now that you have come to even start reading the Vedanta Sutra, now, therefore, inquire into the absolute truth. Because only in the human form of life we have the facilities to inquire into the absolute truth. None of the 8 million species of life, because 0.4 million species is human beings, but none of the other 8 million species of life have this facility to inquire into the absolute truth. That is the greatest gift that has been given to us. Now, therefore, inquire into the absolute truth. And then he says, from whom? From a spiritual master, from a guru. And we must understand that there are so many different gurus. There are Vartama Pradarshak Guru, there is a Shiksha Guru, there is Diksha Guru, and then there is the Chaitya Guru. We should understand all of that. Vartma Pradarshak Guru is the guru who puts us in the path, shows us the path. It could be anyone who is inspiring us in showing this path. For Srila Prabhupada, it was his friend Narendra who took him to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Such a glorious moment when he met first time on the terrace of the ashram in the Ulta Danga Road. That ashram is now owned by ISKCON, and it's one of the touring places in ISKCON Kolkata for Srila Prabhupada. And there, this instruction was given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to Srila Prabhupada. You're a young man, you should spread this movement in the English language. Srila Prabhupada took it to heart as his heart, life and soul. Srila Prabhupada was not actually ready to go to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but when his friend Narendra told, no, he is different. Srila Prabhupada said, I've seen so many sadhus, they always come to my house, and frankly, after seeing the behavior of some of them, I have lost respect in them. But Narendra said, this one is different. This guru, you must see. And so, on the insistence of his friend, Srila Prabhupada went. Narendra became the Vartma Pradarshak Guru of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. There was never a time that Srila Prabhupada never remembered Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said he has never committed any sinful act. And he is the one. But still, in his pastime. We all need a Vartma Pradarshak Guru. For Bilva Mangal Thakur, it was Chintamani, the prostitute, who told him, you came in such rain and thunderstorm to visit me right now. You crossed the river after standing on a dead body, and with that dead body which was flowing across the river, you stood on that and came, you sat on that and came. If this much eagerness you had for Krishna, you would have become a pure devotee by now. And then Bilva Mangal Thakur, he took this to heart. He immediately got struck by it. Oh yeah, that's true. What am I doing? And he immediately left and became a devotee of Krishna. So he says Chintamani is his Vartma Pradarshak Guru, one who showed the path. The Vartma Pradarshak Guru themselves may not be devotees, or themselves may not take to Krishna consciousness. Many times they do. We see a book distributor on the street. They are our Vartma Pradarshak Gurus. But then there is the next category, Shiksha Guru, that we approach, where they give us the shiksha, the knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And we can have so many multiple shiksha gurus. Sometimes a tree could be our shiksha guru. We can learn from a tree how to be tolerant and forgiving and still give shelter to everyone. Serve everyone. This we can learn as a shiksha guru. Or other senior devotees who are there, who we take guidance from time to time. They are Shiksha Guru. We can have many Shiksha Gurus, but one Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru is the person who has the contract of taking us back home, back to Godhead. The contract is, you will follow my instructions and I will guide you to take you back home, back to Godhead. And sometimes the Diksha Guru puts us under the shelter of a Shiksha Guru, a specific Shiksha Guru. But ultimately the responsibility is Diksha Guru. And then there is the Chaitya Guru, who is the Guru in the heart, as Paramatma, as the super soul, who actually helps us, guides us, watches everything that we do. Every thought that crosses our mind is first sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul within the heart. And sometimes he sanctions those thoughts unwillingly. The actions that we do, he may sanction them based on our karma, but he may do it unwillingly sometimes, and sometimes willingly. He's always waiting for us to turn back to him. And when he sees that someone is becoming more interested in spiritual life, is frustrated with material life, looking for answers, just like Gajendra saying, whoever you are, please introduce me to you. I want to see you. I want to meet you. Just like George Harrison sang, I really want to see you. I really want to meet with you, my Lord, my sweet Lord. And then later he sang the Hare Krishna mantra in that great record. When someone is really desperate for that Chaitya Guru super soul guides that person into the right association, to the right Guru, depending on the sincerity of the person. So ultimately, it is our sincerity which will guide us to the proper Guru, to the right channel, to the right Guru. And once we accept Guru, then Guru guides us to Krishna. Therefore it is said, Krishna guides us to the Guru and Guru guides us to Krishna. But while the Guru is guiding us to Krishna, the super soul is witnessing everything. Whether we are following the Guru's instructions, when the Guru is not physically present to see us, the Chaitya Guru reports everything to the spiritual master. One time a devotee asked, Srila Prabhupada, do you know everything that all your disciples do? Srila Prabhupada said, no, I'm not God, I'm not Super Soul, but I am in touch with Super Soul. So whatever Super Soul wants to reveal to me, I know. So whatever Super Soul wants to reveal to the spiritual master about the disciple, the spiritual master knows, because he's in touch with the Super Soul. So this Chaitya Guru is very important in our sampradaya, that we submit and surrender to our spiritual master. The Chaitya Guru, Super Soul, is watching how we are following the instructions of our spiritual master. Even if we perform a service which no one sees, no one acknowledges, the Super Soul acknowledges, and the Super Soul then transmits that to the Guru, to all the other devotees as needed. Sometimes he may not, but he's watching and he's giving the spiritual advancement. Whether, in fact, if he sees, the Super Soul sees that we are serving, but serving very humbly and not trying to make a big deal out of it, he's much more pleased, because we are serving in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. And then from within, he gives us spiritual advancement. It's our choice. Do we want Krishna or do we want credit? But one who is already in touch with Super Soul understands this concept of Chaitya Guru. So here, King Prachini Bari Shat is actually saying, please instruct me. How can I help? How can I serve? How can I get out of this entanglement of fruitive activities? And who is he submitting to? Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the greatest spiritual master. He is someone who has preached to everyone, every category of living beings. He has preached to snake. He has preached to Mrigari, the hunter. He has preached to kings, King Prachiri Barishad, King Chitraketu. He has preached to Kamsa to make Krishna's appearance faster. He even preached to Hiranyaksha and told him where to find Lord Vishnu, who is in the bottom of the ocean, just so that Vishnu and Hiranyaksha, Varahadev and Hiranyaksha can fight together faster. Otherwise, Hiranyaksha would be searching all over the world, all over the universe. And Narad Muni said, you know what? Just now, Varahadev has gone all the way down to the bottom of the ocean to lift Mother Earth and put it back on its orbit. So Narad Muni knows how to preach to every class, to the classes and to the masses. And this, we can find so many similarities between the qualities displayed by Srila Prabhupada and Narad Muni. Narad Muni is one of the 12 Mahajans in the 6th canto. Shukadev Goswami says, Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayasikir Vayam Dvadashaite Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bhata Guyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Jnanatvaram Jnanatmritam Ashnute. He says these are 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Brahma, Narada, Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Kapiladev, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, the father of Sita Devi, Bhishma Dev, Bali Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami, and I, which is Yamaraj himself. This is Yamaraj speaking. Balir Vayasiki. Vayasiki is the son of Vyasa, Shukadev Goswami. Vayam. Vayam means I. This is what Yamaraj is telling his Yamadutas. We know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavat Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and love for Him is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. So Narad Muni is one of the 12 Mahajans. Srila Prabhupada also, he said in Srimad Bhagavatam in this purport, that the immediate spiritual master is the representative of Narad Muni. There is no difference between the instructions of Narad Muni and those of the present spiritual master. So we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma's first disciple is Narad Muni in our Sampradaya. And Srila Prabhupada is in that Sampradaya. There are so many similarities. Both were traveling preachers. Narad Muni would travel. Narada Muni Bajai Veena Radhika Ramana Name. Narad Muni is playing the veena in the name of, singing the name of Radhika Raman. And Srila Prabhupada, he was also traveling everywhere. He traveled the entire world 18 times in 12 years, the final 12 years of his life. Narad Muni convinced so many sons of Prajapati Daksha to renounce the family life. And because of that, Daksha became very angry. And he told Narada that you don't know how to behave towards others. I curse you that you will travel all over the universe, but you will not be able to stay and have residence anywhere. This was a curse by Daksha. And Narad Muni, he started saying, this is a curse? It's actually an opportunity for me to preach. It's an opportunity, it's a benediction for me. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, actually such a punishment is a boon for the preacher, because preacher is known as Parivrajaka Charya, Parivrajaka Acharya, who is always traveling for the benefit of the human society. Srila Prabhupada then says in the purport, in this parampara system, from Narad Muni, I have also been cursed. Although I have many centers that would be suitable place for residence, I cannot stay anywhere because I've been cursed by the parents of my young disciples. Since the Krishna consciousness movement has started, I have traveled all over the world 2 or 3 times a year. And although I'm provided comfortable places, I cannot stay anywhere for more than 3 days or a week. This Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. There's so much similarity between Srila Prabhupada and Narad Muni. Another similarity is Narad Muni was addicted to hearing about the glories of the Lord. And that's what made him Narad Muni in his present life. He says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasmistada labdharucher mahamate priya shravasi ashkalita matir mama yayahametat sadasat swamayaya pashye mayi brahmani kalpitam pare. O great sage, as soon as I got a taste of the personality of Godhead, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted these subtle and gross coverings, for both the Lord and I are transcendental. So, in the same way, Srila Prabhupada, in 1932, just before Srila Prabhupada was getting initiated, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati told him, yes, he likes to hear. I have marked him. I will accept him as a disciple. So his own spiritual master had given a certificate to Srila Prabhupada that he likes to hear, just like Narad Muni. Similarly, both Narad Muni and Srila Prabhupada, they were greatest. Given a certificate to Srila Prabhupada that he likes to hear, just like Narad Muni. Similarly, both Narad Muni and Srila Prabhupada, they were greatest book distributors. Narad Muni was a book distributor. Srila Prabhupada was a book distributor. Both of them, great book distributors. Because Narad, just like Srila Prabhupada, his first instruction that was given to him by his spiritual master was, when you get money, print books. This was what was told to his spiritual master, by his spiritual master. Similarly, Narad Muni also, he actually had given a vow to his to Bhakti Devi, and told to Bhakti Devi that, please, I vow to you that you will be able to, your glories will go all over the world. Everywhere, your glories will be there. When this comes in Padma Purana, in the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavat Mahatmya, this thing is explained. Then similarly, it is said that Srila Prabhupada, he also spread the holy name. Narad Muni also spread the holy names. Narad Muni is, you can see, he travels everywhere playing his divine instrument, his veena. And Srila Prabhupada also, he personally brought the holy names to New York, to London, to Russia, Africa, all the other places. And then he sent his disciples to places where he himself did not go. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada and Narad Muni both are deliverers of the fallen. Narad Muni, he delivered Mrigari, the hunter. The Mrigari, the hunter, his speciality was that he would leave the animals half dead. He would hunt the animals, but he would leave them half dead, and they would be just being, they would be very, very in pain and would not die immediately. And so when Narad Muni saw this, he told this Mrigari, Mrigari, do you know what is awaiting you in the hellish planets? All these animals will come back to haunt you, and haunt you in ways worse than that you are haunting them. So please give up. And Mrigari said, well, I don't even know what to do. Even if I take your instruction and give this profession, how will I feed my family? And Narad Muni said, well, will your family take part in the sinful reaction that you are getting? Go and ask them. So he went and asked his family, and his family members were, no, what you are doing is your business. We are just helping you, that's all, in running the family. And so also Narad Muni showed him what is awaiting him in the hellish planets. And when Mrigari got a glimpse of that, his desire to change completely increased. He was like, yes, I want to change. What can I do? How can I do it? Narad Muni said, if you want to change, first you have to break this bow that you are using to kill these animals so violently. You have to break this bow.
And Mrigari thought for a while, and he broke the bow. Srila Prabhupada says, when Mrigari broke the bow, that was the moment he got initiated from Narad Muni. Narad Muni didn't initiate him with a yajna and giving him a spiritual name and all of that. Those are good things, and those are rituals and are things which we must follow. But actual time of initiation is when we break the bow, which means the bow was a symbol of Mrigari's attachment. He didn't know. He was completely dependent on the bow to be able to subsist. But he broke the bow, which means he became independent. He declared his dependence on Narad Muni's words. He declared his dependence on Krishna, dependence on his spiritual master Narad Muni. And he gave up that vow. Similarly, when we give up our attachments and we depend, we take the risk of depending on Krishna, depending on the words of the Guru, that is the moment we get initiated. That is the moment of initiation. So, similarly, just like Narad Muni delivered such fallen souls, similarly Srila Prabhupada, he transformed hippies into happies. Just like Narad Muni, he delivered Nalakuvara and Manigriva, who were just naked and enjoying with women. At that time, Narad Muni came. And when Narad Muni came, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, they did not pay any heed. So Narad Muni, out of compassion, cursed them that you will become trees because you like to show your body, become trees without any clothes, show your body. And when this was being done, at that time, Narad Muni Narad Muni also gave them a blessing on their request, saying that you will become trees, but after thousands of years, you will be trees in the backyard of Nanda Maharaj. And that's where Krishna will deliver you. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, in his early days in 1967, when he was coming to California, he had to deal with naked people. There was a naked ranch which was there, a naked commune in Morning Star Ranch in California. And Louis Gottlieb, he was very excited that Srila Prabhupada was visiting their commune, their ranch, and he went to take Srila Prabhupada. And on the way, this Louis Gottlieb, the leader of this commune, was telling Srila Prabhupada about what all his commune has done, what all he has established, and things like that. And he was telling, I have read Ramakrishna, I have read Aurobindo, I have read Vivekananda. And Srila Prabhupada just put hand on his knees and told him, when you have found your true path, you will not need any of this. This comparative study of religion will just be sense gratification for you. And Louis Gottlieb, actually, he gave an interview to Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj and told him that when Srila Prabhupada said it, that was like a transformational moment in his life. And then when he went there, he saw many of the people, some were clothed, some were not, and Srila Prabhupada completely tolerated all this without any sense of, he was looking at their souls, he was not looking at their bodies. And he saw one person, he was planting potatoes, and he asked them, what are you doing? And the person said, oh, I'm planting potatoes. And then Srila Prabhupada asked, no, what are you doing with your life? And this person remembered what Srila Prabhupada said. So similarly, there is so much similarities between Srila Prabhupada and Narada Muni. Narada Muni, he established deity worship in Kali Yuga through his Narada Pancharatra. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada, he established deity worship, major festivals in Rath Yatras, in festivals in so many major cities of the world. And he was giving the most fallen people the chance to see the deity of Lord Krishna in his deity form. In fact, in 1966, when the New York devotees, they rented an expensive auditorium near Carnegie Hall, and they had hopes that they would attract so many influential people, and they had advertised, they had invited everyone, but only 7 people showed up. Srila Prabhupada still gave the lecture. And then after the lecture, devotees apologized. Srila Prabhupada, we are so sorry. Almost no one had come. We had advertised so much. We had invited so many people, but no one came. We are so sorry. And Prabhupada raised his eyebrows, said, no one came? You did not see Narad Muni? Narad Muni was there. Narad Muni is here. And all the devotees were shocked. They could not see Narad Muni, but Srila Prabhupada could see. Similarly, both Srila Prabhupada and Narad Muni, they are renouncers. They are great sannyasis, renouncers of the material world. Narad Muni encouraged many great kings and leaders to just renounce all the attachments and just surrender. And Srila Prabhupada also would renounce, but he would renounce as Yukta Vairagya. He said, I will not use anything for my benefit, but I will use everything for Krishna. I will not say no to anyone who is giving millions of dollars. We'll accept it and use it in Krishna's service. Both of them had a mood of very humble service attitude. Narad Muni served the Bhakti Vedantas, and Srila Prabhupada, he prayed to Krishna on the Jaladuta boat. Please, you have given me the name Bhakti Vedanta. Now it's up to you to fulfill it. Srila Prabhupada would always give credit to his spiritual master and to his disciples. He never took the credit. He would always say, this is because of my spiritual master. He never shied away from that. He always would say, all of you disciples, my spiritual master has sent you all to me to give me the proper association. One time, one reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, are you a devotee of Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada says, a devotee is a very big thing. I am not a devotee, but I am trying to be a devotee of Krishna. He would always see himself as the servant of the servant of the servant. And this is mentioned in the Science of Self-Realization in the introduction. They both had perfect timing. Although, of course, their preaching is not because of timing, it's because of empowerment by Krishna. But Narad Muni, he would find the perfect time to arrive. Like to Kamsa, he arrived at the perfect time and hastened the process of Krishna's appearance. To Varahadev, he came at the right moment and told Hiranyaksha where to find Varahadev and Vishnu. Similarly, in Dhruva Maharaj's life, he came at the right moment when Dhruva Maharaj was at the peak, was eager to know what to do to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narad Muni came and gave him directions at that time. To the Prachetas, to Mrigari, even to King Prachini Barishat today that we are reading. Narad Muni came at the right time to preach to King Prachini Barishat. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, some say that he came at the right time when the jet plane was invented. The jet plane was already invented before Srila Prabhupada. No one would cross the 7 seas and come to the Western world. No sannyasi would come because it was forbidden. But Srila Prabhupada took that risk, and because of the jet planes, he was able to travel all over the world. But it was not because of jet planes that he spread Krishna consciousness. It was because of the empowerment of Krishna. Some say that the timing was right when in America, the hippie movement was growing. People were becoming dissatisfied with the materialistic way of life. They were looking at the East for spiritual solutions, and Srila Prabhupada came right in the middle of it, and he was able to spread Krishna consciousness. Yes, Srila Prabhupada came at that time, but Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tar Pravartana. It is said that without the empowerment by Krishna, one cannot preach. One cannot make so many devotees. So Krishna arranged all these things for Srila Prabhupada. And if we say that that time was right for Srila Prabhupada, even today's time is right to preach Krishna consciousness. So many people are eager. There may not be a hippie movement, but people are increasingly frustrated by the materialistic way of life. They are looking for solutions. If devotees just simply follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and try to follow the example of Srila Prabhupada and go out with compassion and preach, so many people, there is so much opportunity with this coronavirus situation where everyone is just simply looking for something to depend on. We can give them Krishna. So just like Srila Narad Muni preached to everyone, similarly, Srila Prabhupada also showed his compassion and was empowered by Krishna to preach to everyone and everywhere. This is the right time to preach, because the human form of life is meant for self-realization. This is what this verse is actually, Prabhupada is saying. Let's not waste our time in human form of life. Avyartha kalatvam. There is a word, there is a phrase called avyartha kalatvam, that a devotee, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu it says, a devotee never wastes time. Avyartha, he never wastes the time in useless activities. He always utilizes his time in hearing and chanting about Krishna. So we should use this opportunity that has been provided by nature, by the universe in this coronavirus situation, and engage as much as possible in hearing and chanting, in enlightening one another, in encouraging more and more people to hear and chant. And at the same time, we should not be worried, because time comes and goes. I'll end with this one story. There was a king. His name was, he was actually very powerful, but then a neighboring country attacked the kingdom. And somehow or other, his army was defeated. And the army of the other side came to came to kill him. And as he was running around. He came to the edge of a cliff, and he didn't know what to do. And he could see that the people he could see that there are soldiers from the previous army who are coming behind him to kill him. And so he hid inside a bush, and they came and he heard the hoof prints of the horses. They came, they saw, oh, there's a cliff here. Maybe the king just fell down the cliff. And they left, but he was hiding in the bushes. And then he came out. He remembered that during his reign, he had asked one question. What is one thing that is valid in all situations of life? In good situations, bad situations, happy situations, distressful situations. What is one phrase which is valid in every stage of life? And so many people had come and tried to give the answer, but the king was not satisfied. And then a sage came and he said, I will give you the answer, but my condition is that I will write this answer in a piece of paper, and you have to roll it up and put it in your ring, this paper. And you will look at the answer when you are in greatest distress. That's the only time you will look at it, because otherwise you will not understand the answer. So the king said, all right, I'll do that. And at this time of distress, when everything was taken away from him, he felt, I need that. Let me check what that sage had given. He takes the paper out of his ring and he opens it up. And there were words, this too shall pass. And he read that. He got strength from that. He got positivity from that. This too shall pass. And that distressful situation, he felt, yes, this will pass away. Wonderful, good times will come. And so with this positivity, after a few months, he was able to gather his army again and then go back and reclaim his kingdom. And as he was entering after the victory, as he was entering his kingdom, all the city folks were cheering him up, and everyone was so happy, and they were all glorifying him and praising him. And there was a procession that he was going inside the city to his palace. And then the sun shone on his ring, and the ring was shining. And he looked at the ring, and then he remembered the same paper. He opened it up, and it said, this too shall pass. Even the good times will pass. Let's not be attached to that. Even the bad times will pass. Let's not be fearful of that. But at all times, simply remember Krishna, depend on Krishna. Declare our dependence on Krishna, and Krishna will take us through all these different kinds of situations, through the spiritual master, through the devotees. And in this way, this particular sentence, this too shall pass, is applicable in all cases, in all time, place, circumstance. But also is the phrase, depend on Krishna, valid in all these times, good times and bad times. And what does it mean to depend on Krishna? Is to do activities that please him, not do activities that displease him, that doesn't enrich and nourish our Krishna consciousness. And then have full faith. Once we are doing this, then we should have full faith. Avishya Rakhive Krishna. Krishna will take care in whatever way he feels best. He will take care of our soul. He will take care of our devotion. This body has to go anyways. Even if we pray for this body to be saved, it can be only saved to some extent. After some time, it has to go away. The real thing that we have to pray to save is the soul. So with this, we will end today's discussion. If there are any questions or comments, we will take now.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, one question I had. We all know that the desires are definitely sanctioned by the Lord, and at least with the desire, depending on our endeavor, we know what to do with it, whether to offer it to Krishna or to take the life of karma, etc. You know how to mold the desire. But you said one thing which struck me very much. Even the thoughts are sanctioned by Krishna and they come to us. Now, how do we get rid of these unwanted thoughts? We all are practicing devotees because we are not even conscious of the thoughts. I mean, okay, when it manifests into a desire, we are at least conscious and we know what to do with it with our intelligence. But those flickering thoughts, even those are sanctioned by Krishna. How do we get rid of this unwanted at the thought level? Does it make sense, Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you for this question. That's a very thoughtful question about thoughts. The spiritual master of Ramanujacharya, his name, he was actually Yamunacharya. He was a great devotee, and he wrote a verse. He said, Yadavadhi mama cheta Krishna padarvinde navanava rasa udita rantumasit tadavadhi nari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikara sushtu nishti vanamcha. Which means that Yadavadhi mama cheta Krishna padarvinde, since my mind has been in the lotus feet of Krishna, Navanava rasa udita rantumasit, I'm experiencing newer and newer mellows of ecstasy. Tadavadhi nari sangame smaryamane. Since then, any thoughts of sense gratification or illicit association with women comes to my mind. Bhavati mukha vikaraha sushtu nishti vanamcha. My lips curl in distaste and I spit at the thought of exploitation. So, such a great spiritual master, he is acknowledging that these thoughts come to my mind, these thoughts of sense gratification come to my mind. But when these thoughts come to my mind, how does he react? That is more important. As long as we are in this material world, these thoughts will come due to our association with matter. But a neophyte devotee enjoys these thoughts. A sincere devotee and a pure devotee, they spit at the thoughts and immediately take their mind away from these thoughts and focus on Krishna. So it is not amusing that these thoughts come. These thoughts will come. These thoughts will come even to great devotees. But how we react to these thoughts is more important. Every negative thought, every thought that distracts us from Krishna consciousness, are we immediately replacing them with positive thoughts? What is the effort that we are doing when these thoughts come? That's more important. Do we keep associating with these thoughts till they transform into words and then transform into action? Are we cultivating these thoughts, or are we trying to uproot these thoughts? That is the struggle of human form of life. And that is the struggle that Krishna is seeing. Through this struggle, we can express our sincerity to Krishna. And when Krishna sees that we are sincerely trying to replace these thoughts with Krishna conscious thoughts, then Krishna helps us. We just have to try. We just have to keep trying and reacting to these thoughts in a Krishna conscious way, and Krishna will help us in either getting rid of the thought or just distracting our mind to some Krishna conscious thought. Does that address your concerns?
Yes, Prabhuji, what a wonderful explanation. It's not, because of course the thoughts are not in our control, but how do we actually consciously catch the thought and react to it? A wonderful explanation, Prabhu. It's just that sometimes we don't even know that we are thinking about that thought, and the time goes by and it's 5-10 minutes and we are thinking, and then we react. Wonderful explanation, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. And as our mind becomes pure and pure, we'll immediately be able to detect these thoughts.
Right.
It's like if there is a clean spotless white marble area, and there is even a little bit of dirt, immediately it's noticed. But if there is a trash can and there is the same amount of dirt in that trash can, it goes unnoticed because there is so much trash anyways. So sometimes I mean, I'm not saying about your mind. My mind is, full of trash. So little bit of, sense gratificatory thoughts sometimes, they go unnoticed. And suddenly when we notice it, at that point, when we notice it, that is the moment of test. Yeah, if we didn't notice it, Krishna understands, wow, this person's... But as soon as we notice, what did we do? And that is more important. But in a pure devotee's mind, even a little bit, even like a thought of what if this sense gratification I would have done, that thought also, because his mind is so clean, he's immediately able to identify that thought right away. So as our mind becomes more and more clean, we'll be able to identify these thoughts again and again, like more minutely.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And hopefully by the Maha Mantra, even the seed of that thought will, maybe in one lifetime, will hopefully go away. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Many pranams.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Okay, if not, we can end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very beautiful class, Prabhuji, and very beautiful purport written by Srila Prabhupada. Very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Because of him, we are here now, means in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Vasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare.
Thank you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you so much, Krishna.